Next, let me introduce the fourth speaker. Leo Branch from St. Paul's University will deliver the speech under the title of YGGDRASIL. Leo Branch, please come up to the stage.
Sure. Thank you, Contest Chair, distinguished judges, all of the questioners, organizers, and the audience. Everyone, good afternoon. Thank you. You were the best. I was moved by your speech. This word was conveyed by one of the audience members when I took part in my very first national English speech contest, the 20th Golden Cup. Since I was bullied when I was little, these words felt warm because it felt like they accepted me. As a freshman, I began to think if I could inspire people and become a hero for someone, and by accepting others, many more would accept me. This experience was the birthplace of my passion towards speaking. Also, the concept of the 20th Golden Cup was YGGDRASIL, a powerful symbol from Norse mythology that means world tree. Now, this tree is the birthplace of all creations in the myth. And looking at the concept and the words conveyed by the audience lately, I felt like the words were like a seed of a world tree, growing sky high, making me passionate. Since then, the word YGGDRASIL has meant the birthplace of my passion. However, time went by and things began to change. In 2022, I took part in various public speaking competitions, winning prizes in some of them. And last year, I ended up with this pressure that I had to be better than the year before. I would often think, what if I lose? What if my club members laugh at me? So last spring, I created a speech to match the judging criteria. I was ready to become the British Barack Obama. But when various open speech contests began, I noticed something wasn't right. During the speech, I was passionate. I had my message to tell, and yet, I couldn't deliver my speech from my heart. I knew, deep down, that the constant pressure of having to win was consuming my soul. I consulted my mom. Hey, Mom, I can't enjoy public speaking because I'm under constant pressure. And she replied, son, see what you have upstairs. There are so many trophies, and it's like the Great Wall of China, but gold. You've got nothing to prove. But that was exactly why I was about to crash. It felt like the past results were whispering, you can't fail. If you fail, you ain't good enough to own me. After 2 months, I was facing this issue. I had the opportunity to visit Osaka to make a speech at Dosha University. But the results were terrible. I got on the night bus heading to Tokyo, feeling depressed. But that piece of depressed experience was the finishing blow. I was tired after the constant pressure of having to win, afraid of results. I was sitting down on the dark night bus, slowly biting my lips, gasping to myself. Perhaps I should retire after the summer contests. But as the bus stopped, I recognized a single message from my wise dad. Now, I had discussed all of the problems the day before, and he didn't say anything then, but he wrote back. Son, I saw your speech. Sorry to hear the results. And sorry about yesterday. I didn't know what to say. But son, you should question why you are making speeches. By all means, continue if you want to. We all love you for who you are, not what you have or can achieve. And that word struck my heart. It was a long time since someone talked to me for not what I had or achieved, but for who I was. And I started to think, why am I making speeches? As the bus stopped, I ran back to my house. I opened the drawer where I put all of my speech documents. I pulled out my very first speech and the leaflet of the 20th Golden Cup. Memories came flashing back like a shooting star. In those days, my seniors helped me to make my first speech. In those days, I got chucked out of the room when I was practicing because I was too loud. And that very day, I found what I could be passionate about. And looking at the speech and the leaflet, I realized that winning was not my purpose. I was writing speeches to help other people. And in my heart, I was a freshman again, seeing what I had lost in the past. YGGDRASIL, the birthplace of my passion. And for the first time in almost 6 months, I wanted to make speeches. This story isn't just about my speech life, but a universal question to all of you here. Are you truly aware of why you do what you do? There is always a reason why we start something. That reason ignites our spirits. But in our fast-paced world, it's very difficult to be conscious of our purpose or why we are passionate because other people evaluate what you do instead of why you do it. And while things like goals and results are tangible, passion and purpose are intangible, and we start to think what we do is far more important than why we do it. But if you lack what motivates you, you will end up with a hollow heart like I did. So if you want to be proud of yourself from the bottom of your heart, you have to stick to why you do it. You have to stick to your own YGGDRASIL, the birthplace of your passion, whatever it takes. And the easiest way to find your YGGDRASIL is to ask yourself, why? And when you are in trouble, ask someone for help. They might give you a hand for you. Unfortunately, this is my last speech as a university student. But let me finish my speech by reclaiming why I was making speeches. My YGGDRASIL, my birthplace of my passion, is a single hope I found in the Golden Cup. To be a hero for someone and make people laugh and enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Leo Branch. Then we will have a question and answer session. Mr. Carver, please begin.
Thank you very much for this, your final speech, reflective one, taking us all the way back to the beginning. My first question for you is about this notion of passion and to what extent or what role you think passion should play in someone's work life or in their career, not just in, not to diminish this, but not in the things that they participate in during university, but after that.
I think passion is very important when working as well. Many people work, well, they have to abide by their own, they just have to accept that they have to earn money. They have to do something for their family, so that sometimes people don't do what they could be passionate about. But I think the purpose of your life is to become happy. And passion makes you happy passion makes your life more colorful, valuable, and meaningful. And I think in terms of work, that is also a really, well, most of the time you work. So I think it's a very important thing when working as well.
Thank you. As people get older, their passions change. They grow, they dim. What are you going to do to continue to pursue this passion of yours?
Through speaking, I came to believe that in my case, my happiness is to grow mentally and kind of come down to a certain extent that I could think that I'm valuable as an existence. So I would like to work in order to pursue that growth. And I hope many would find their own purpose and pursue that.
Thank you. I want to shift to something you talked about. You talked about redefining success based on basically your own criteria, your own measure of success. Why do you think that is so hard for people to accept or for people to do? Why do you think we so often rely on others to measure our success?
I think it's because people are scared. Because if you have to think that you are valuable, if you have to think that you can decide your own value by yourself, you have to be responsible for that. And by being responsible, when you fail, you have to take all of that result to your own heart. And people can't face that, I believe. But when you can truly face that, I believe people can change. People can change their definition of success, leading them to happiness.
Thank you, Mr. Carver. Then Mr. Tokuhisa, please.
Okay, thank you, Leo, for a very interesting speech.
Thank you.
And my first question would be that in the first sentence, you mentioned the concept of the 20th Golden Cup.
Yes.
And that was Yggdrasil. And I just wonder, I mean, I'm not really sure about this Golden Cup in Yggdrasil. How would you explain such thing? Would you elaborate a little bit more?
Sorry, yeah, of course. So I do belong in a community called the ESS. And the ESS holds various public speaking competitions throughout the world, throughout Japan. And as a freshman, there was this competition called the Golden Cup. And I was a participant in that contest. And that competition's concept was Yggdrasil, which is a world tree in the Norse mythology. And that was a really memorable experience for me because it was my first national public speaking competition.
I see. Thank you very much. And my second question would be that, in short, you are trying to mention that why do you do would be more important than what you do.
Of course, yeah.
I can understand it. But if you start working in the real world and in business environment, you are requested to have your results. Meaning that you are evaluated regarding what you have established or what you have achieved rather than why you do it. And you may not have much time to think about why you do such work. And in that situation, how do you think that you can keep on your Yggdrasil in such busy business environment?
Thank you very much. You gave me a really important point. So this is a really difficult issue. So results and your passion. It can't be the same always. But I always believe that's why you have to find your own passion and purpose, because if you can find that, you are most likely to be motivated, you are most likely to work with blood and sweat and be able to earn a good result in your business environment. So rather than choosing your job by how much the business model creates, rather than that, you have to think, okay, how much I could be passionate to this work or business. And if you could perfect that, you are most likely to maximize your own income or position because you could be passionate. You could be able to do that. So these things seem different, but I believe it's always the same thing, but it's on the other way around.
I see. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Tokuhisa. Again, thank you so much, Mr. Confer, Mr. Tokuhisa, and Leo Branch.
Thank you.